Hello class, my name is Adrian Velasquez. Today I'm going to teach you how to control bleeding. A lot of times we encounter an accident on the road or someone gets hurt in a sport, and bleeding out is a very serious issue. I myself am a medic in the Air Force, and I've come into situations outside of the work field, outside of the AOR in Afghanistan, outside on base, that I've had to stop bleeding that eventually saved the person's life. And today I'd like to go through some of that with you. I have some materials here that we all carry on our everyday. I have a belt here, some napkins for bandages, and then just a regular old t-shirt that we can use. The first thing I want to do is create a scenario for you. A car accident. Person gets T-bones from the side. Their arm is down here. The door of the car crushes their arm, and it's severely deformed, and it's bleeding. Up here in the anterior portion of the lower arm, there is the brachial artery. Brachial artery can bleed out in less than 3 minutes, and it'll kill you. So the first thing we're going to do there, okay, so you arrive on scene, and you ask the person, hey, what's up? What happened? Oh, my arm. And you see that it's bleeding. So the first thing you want to do is you want to apply direct pressure. So hopefully you can find some napkins. If not, just use whatever you have to shield yourself from the blood, because you don't know what that person has. God forbid they have something, a blood pathogen that can hurt you. So put direct pressure. Let's say it's right here. Put direct pressure on there. Hold it tight. The person might complain of pain, but that's normal. You're trying to save their life if it's bleeding really bad. Let's say that these napkins just aren't holding. Okay? And the blood is soaking through and you just can't do anything more. The next thing you want to do is apply more pressure with something a little bit more dense, something a little bit heavier. So every day we have a t-shirt. If you have to take it off your back, if you have one in the car, run in your car. If someone around you, another bystander has one, take a t-shirt, you can rip it, or you can use it like this, and just put it on there. Tight. Put it on there. Remember, you got to stop that blood. You're trying to save that arm. And you're trying to eventually, leading up to saving that person's life. So you're putting pressure. Maybe you want to wrap it around, something you can stop that pressure. You can hold this for up to 3 hours without losing that arm. And I'm pretty sure the ambulance is going to be there within 3 hours. I'm actually pretty positive. If not, something went terribly wrong. You're holding it, you're there, and the person is still bleeding. At that time, you're in trouble. That person's in trouble. Their life is at risk now, because this portion right here of the arm is where the brachial artery is, and if you don't get it patched up, they can bleed out. So the next thing we're gonna do, you're gonna leave that shirt on. You're gonna wrap it around the wound site. You're gonna take a belt. And if you don't have a belt, you just rip the shirt. I'm going to show you. Rip the shirt so it's longer, and you can wrap around that person's arm. I should have had somebody here. I apologize. Everybody's out of town right now. Wrap it around. And you're going to do it so tight, the person's going to be screaming. If they're not screaming at the pain of how tight it is, then it's not tight enough. Tight. You want to stop that bleeding. And what you want to do, you want to go above the wound site. You never want to go below, because you're not doing anything for that person. You want to go above the wound site and make sure you stop that bleeding. That's just with a regular t-shirt. If you have a belt, it makes it a little bit easier. It's a little bit more neat. Put it through the buckle. Put it around that person's arm. I mean, you're just going to pull, and secure it in place. You want it secure. And then make sure you're on scene when the ambulance gets there, because they're going to ask who did the tourniquet. This is called a tourniquet here. This is the last measure. This is life-saving, at home, controlling bleeding. I mean, this will save a person's life right here. So tight. See how tight that is? I mean, this is killing me right now. And that'll stop the bleeding right there. But that person has to get to a hospital in less than 3 hours, because this tourniquet will cut off everything into that arm, every blood flow, and they'll lose that arm. So pretty much what I just taught you there is I tried to include everything we had in a car, on your person, on an everyday basis. But these simple 3 things right here: a belt, some napkins, a shirt, can eventually save someone's life in bleeding. And you can incorporate it into other parts of the body as well. The legs, the same thing. Just above that wound site, try to stop that bleeding. So three steps: direct pressure with a napkin, some gauze if you have it in your car, something simple. If that doesn't stop it, get that t-shirt out, put more pressure. If that doesn't stop it, either use that t-shirt or whatever cloth you have to wrap it around. And if you do have a belt, then wrap it around. Once you wrap that shirt around, wrap it around the t-shirt, and most likely will save that person's life. Thank you for your time.